Shalom. This week in the Torah, we come to a pivotal moment in the Hebrew Bible and in Jewish history. We're in Parshat Yitro, chapters 18 through 20 of Exodus, and it has the giving of the law at Mount Sinai, Moses coming down with the Ten Commandments. But I want to focus on the opening scene this week. The Torah this week begins with Jethro, Yitro, Moses' father-in-law, a man who plays an important role in the life of Moses. Jethro hears about the Exodus and what God has done for the Israelites and goes out to visit his son-in-law from Midian. Jethro sees Moses spending hours upon hours answering the people's questions, talking to them about their concerns, settling their disputes. Jethro is concerned. He advises Moses to choose officers and judges to assist in these efforts, and Moses does so. What I want to focus on is what Jethro actually said to his son-in-law. After observing how Moses was operating all by himself, Jethro says in verse 17 and 18, he says as follows, "Lo tov hadavar zeh asher ta oseh." The thing you're doing is not right. Navol tibol gamata. You will surely wear yourself out. Gam hamazeh asher imach. And you'll also wear out the people as well. And then it ends, for the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do this all alone. Now, on the surface, this is great advice. Moses was leading the people all by himself. And as a result, everyone came to him for the slightest conflict, the slightest issue, the slightest question on law, the simplest problems. And it was simply wearing Moses out. And Jethro's advice is sound. Appoint other people to help you, to help handle the easier cases, and take just the hardest cases. But if you look carefully, Jethro says something. I don't know if you noticed it. He says you'll wear yourself out, and then he adds, and these people as well. Now, I understand why Moses will wear himself out if he had to meet with everyone day in and day out. But how would the people become worn out of this system? Well, a commentator from the 12th century, the Bechor Shor, explains that Jethro saw that the people were in line all day in the intense heat, waiting just for an audience with Moses. That was how they're growing weary. It was the Jewish, DMV waiting line. Another explanation is given by the Sforno. He was a rabbi of the 15th century. He said, and this sounds quite familiar, he said the rich and the important somehow always got to the front of the line, while the average Israelite had to wait their turn. And people were growing weary of that. Both great answers, but I want to suggest a third possibility. I think Jethro was observing his son-in-law, and he realized we have a problem. You have heard the expression, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I wonder if Jethro was seeing the situation as not everything needs a Moses, or rather a Moses solution. I think Jethro was a pretty good father-in-law. He knew his son-in-law. Moses was a lawgiver. He saw everything from the lens of what does God say. He was very different from his brother Aaron, who our tradition describes as the pursuer of peace, someone loved by everyone for his ability to bring people together. Kind of would like to imagine Jethro telling him, Moses, people come to you for help, but not everyone needs a legalistic answer. They just need someone that can spend time and talk to them, help them come to their own solution, give advice, offer a shoulder to cry on, a sympathetic ear, a gentle scolding. That's not you. That's not what they need. But that's all they know. They'll grow weary of hearing, this is the law from you. Next, appoint others who can actually help. Let them come to you for the real difficult cases, that require a Moses ruling. But for the rest, get them the help that they really need. People who can listen. I mean, you're not going to just wear yourself out, but your approach is going to wear out the people as well. I guess in my own life, people come to me, to rabbis, to ministers, priests, imams, and to good friends all the time with issues they face, problems they need to solve. It's taken me a long time to realize that when people come to me, they're not always looking for a rabbinic answer. Not every problem has a solution, or sometimes the solution is not what they need. Oftentimes people just come for a shoulder to cry on. They don't need someone to just tell them what they need to do, but they need to be reminded that they're not alone. Perhaps Jethro's advice to Moses was important, not just for religious leaders back then, but also for friends and family today even more. It's not good to judge alone. It's also not good to be alone. When people seek out others for answers and advice, may they always find those on the other side not feeling that they always need to give an answer, but more importantly, always ready to listen and ready to hold their hands. Shalom.